Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal. Patch 9.2 brings in many exciting updates, from class changes, tier sets, and double legendaries, which are all going to impact our class PvP performance in the next update. On this channel, we're massive fans of WoW PvP, hosting numerous 5v5 1v1 duels with this channel's dueling community. With Blizzard releasing a full list of class changes for the upcoming patch 9.2, I wanted to go over all the important changes that will affect your class's PvP performance in the next update. This list is likely not final, so expect more last-minute changes and tuning before the patch releases for the NA realms this Tuesday. But right before we get into the impactful PvP changes, most of you guys watching these videos are still not subscribed, and if you're watching these videos anyway, you might as well subscribe as well as hit the bell, especially if you want to see more regular updates for patch 9.2, as well as content and guides, and potentially future WoW expansion announcements. We're gonna start these classes off alphabetically, starting with the Death Knight. When it comes to PvP, there's no better covenant like the Necrolord, which has seen significant damage improvements together with their covenant legendary heading to the next update. While not the most popular PvP spec, the Unholy Death Knight is getting many of its damaging conduits buffed by quite a bit, which opens up opportunity for this spec to perform in the next update. However, there is a new Death Knight nerf that came out recently, with spell warding getting cut in half from its effectiveness. Generally, the class of Death Knight is deemed as tanky when faced against many of the caster classes, though can struggle against a lot of the melee physical damage dealers, and I wonder how this change will impact them in the patch 9.2. All specs of druids are getting frenzied regeneration healing nerfed within PvP. This is quite a significant nerf, which affects not only the bare form self-heal, but also the conduit that can save you from a critical situation when your health dips dangerously low. This change is likely to make druids feel less safe when getting locked down inside of enemy burst. The Restoration Druid is not only seeing a healing buff, but also a damage buff as well, and with how hybridy the Druid can play from a range or a melee perspective, this could give opportunities specifically in 2v2 situations where their damage contribution can be very impactful. The Restoration Druid Lifebloom ability is also getting buffed, and with how popular the focused growth PvP talent is, this is looking like a significant increase. Besides that, the talent of Overgrowth Mana has been nerfed as well, and Germination now has a bonus effect that increases duration of rejuve by a couple of seconds. One of the bigger valuable updates for all mage specs is the fact that the Kyrian Legendary now does single target damage as well as splash AoE, which makes it significantly stronger for mages looking to burst a singular target in patch 9.2. While it can be argued that Frost Mages are not as popular as Fire, there are still Frost Mages that compete within PvP. So they'll be unhappy to hear that Frozen Orb as well as Blizzard both saw damage nerfs, mostly from a PvE perspective. This is mostly a Mythic Plus dungeon nerf to suppress some of their crazy AoE output, but it will be impactful in PvP regardless, and I wonder if this will be counterbalanced in the future. The class of Monk is looking at two significant nerfs. The first one is to their Necrolord ability of Bone Dust Brew. 9.2 changes made it so that Bone Dust Brew does slightly more damage or healing, but can no longer critically strike, which will take out a lot of the burst potential, especially out of Windwalker monks looking for that one-shot setup. Besides that, Windwalker is getting nerfed even more, with the ability of reverse harm healing being cut back by quite a bit. For the class of Paladin, we're mostly seeing bad news, starting off with the Holy Paladin. While their healing is being bolstered slightly, their damage is seeing a bit of a dampener, but the biggest change is going to be their nerf to their Avenging Wrath ability. Blizzard has removed the third rank of Avenging Wrath ability. Previously, rank 3 Avenging Wrath allowed your wings to be 10% more effective. This effectiveness both applied to the damage output of Paladin but also the healing element, so your burst element and burst output with wings has gotten dampened by quite a bit in this update. Retribution Paladin also didn't walk away unscathed, as their Ward of Glory healing is being further reduced by 10%. When it comes to Priest, if you play Necrolord, which is your Shadow Priest's favorite covenant, that covenant legendary effect where you summon a Mages of the Undead is gonna nerf by quite a bit. This is likely for endgame scaling and tuning, but if you start off Season 3 with a slightly weaker Mages of the Dead, then you'll know why he's not doing nearly as much damage. Besides that, the spec of Holy Priest is getting a nice buff to its tuning. Not only is this spec seeing a damage as well as a healing increase, but also there's a mana cost reduction on some of your big heal impactful abilities. And with a brand new change to the talent of Afterlife, Holy Priests now have a battle res within PvP. One of the priest's base mechanics is Spirit of Redemption. When the priest falls in battle, they enter their angelic form, allowing them to keep supporting their allies with healing spells for a little while longer. With the new change to the talent of Afterlife, during Spirit of Redemption form, you're able to res an ally back into life while sacrificing the Spirit of Redemption form duration. However, in arenas and battlegrounds, you can run the PvP talent of Spirit of the Redeemer, which prevents you from entering Spirit of Redemption when you die, but instead makes it a cooldown for you to enter this form anytime you wish. So every 2 minutes, you may activate Spirit of Redemption and then use the talent of Afterlife to battle res an ally when they die. This combination was already deemed a little too strong for Blizzard before the patch came out, so now there's a debuff whenever you use Spirit of Redemption in your battle res an ally, where you can't battle res them exactly every 2 minutes. And even if there's a debuff preventing you from battle resing somebody every 2 minutes, this utility together with the other buffs the priests are getting, Holy Priest has potential to be a very strong competitor in PvP in the patch 9.2. While rogues haven't received the biggest nerfs in the next update, Cloaked in Shadow's Conduit is getting yet another nerf, most likely to account for the extra health we'll be getting with better gear heading into the patch 9.2. When it comes to Shaman, your Frost Shock ability for all 3 specs is getting buffed by 40%, which will be impactful especially when you're maintaining slows on your enemies. A lot of the enhancement Shaman conduits has also been amped up by quite a bit, so don't be surprised if you're seeing more enhancement shamans out there bursting people in the patch 9.2. However, while enhance could do more damage, they are gonna have their healing nerfed slightly. As for only the enhancement shaman, the healing surge healing is getting nerfed by another 9%. While warlocks themselves aren't getting too many impactful PvP updates, their pet succubus or the incubus, whichever one you choose to play with, is gonna get extra benefits. First of all, the seduce ability from your succubus/incubus will now function like a fear, where the ability CC doesn't immediately break to damage, but it has instead a damage threshold. On top of that, the ability of Seduce will force the target to march towards the succubus/the incubus, which will help warlocks create some distance between them and their target. And the succubus or the incubus ability of Whiplash now has a bonus effect. Whiplash can now stack. It doesn't increase the slow that it puts up on the target, but with every single stack of Whiplash, the incubus or the succubus will do more damage to that target. The only update warriors are receiving in patch 9.2 is a nerf to the Arms Warrior defensive stance, where the talent will only reduce your damage taken from other players by only 10%. This is a pretty big nerf, going from a 20% damage mitigation to now only 10, while still keeping that 20% personal damage output reduction as well. I wonder if with this change, Arms Warriors will be more likely to want to step out of their shell, to deactivate defensive stance more often to regain full damage output, because otherwise it'll feel a little bit disbalanced, nerfing your own damage output by 20% while only making yourself tankier by 10. Finally, the Necrolord Covenant Fleshcraft ability is seeing yet another nerf. With 9.2, the absorbed value is now going to be down to 25% of maximum HP instead of 30. This is only a 5% overall nerf for the Fleshcraft ability, but you should also remember, with us getting better gear in patch 9.2, that Fleshcraft shielding naturally is going to increase, with Battle Masters trinkets, and certain buffs like the Earth Elemental stamina increase, Bear Form for Druid stamina increase, or abilities like Warrior's Rallying Cry. There's a lot of little abilities players and classes can use in order to amp up that shield absorbiness even further. Necrolord has found itself to be a really popular covenant just for the defensive aspect, and a lot of players enjoy that tankiness in such a bursty meta that Shadowlands has provided. So it'll be interesting to see if other covenants with some of the more utilitarian, mobility, and even a self-heal element of Kyrian might end up being a little bit more popular heading into the next build. And that's going to be all the class changes so far that will probably be the most impactful for PvP in the patch 9.2. And remember, there's a good chance Blizzard will add even more updates and tuning right before the patch goes live Tuesday or Wednesday if you are in EU. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about all these updates, especially a lot of the hybrid nerfs and even the Arms Warrior defensive nerf? What do you think about some of these updates and if Blizzard should reverse these in the future? If you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as per usual, in the description of every single video and live stream, we have a link towards our Discord community channel. Join the Discord if you watch these videos on the regular to become part of the community, and let me know in the DMs what you thought about the video. Discord DMs are always open. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in another one.